back, give a dog a bone. Why don't? Hello, welcome back to All for United. We are live with a transfer roundup. Graeme Bailey is back with me. It's our fortnightly chat. Graeme, thank you so much for jumping on, mate. And I sort of feel we've got one over the line in Malasia, which is great, but we're going to continue conversations we've been having for about the last month at this point. But things are moving, like you've always said. So let's start, shall we, at the beginning, and maybe the biggest Manchester United transfer talking point at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not an incoming, it's an outgoing, isn't it? It's Ronaldo. I mean, we heard whispers, and I think we spoke about this a month ago when we were chasing Nunes. We were discussing about why United potentially didn't go all in for that, thinking that Ronaldo was going to stay. But now he wants to leave. What's your latest on that?
Yeah, it's quite United on the hop a little bit, really, Ben. They didn't see it coming. Obviously, they know Jorge Mendes is talking to lots of clubs, not just about Ronaldo, but all his clients. That's what agents and good agents do. Ronaldo's obviously had time to think. It's a strange one that this didn't occur at the end of the season. Obviously, he's had some chats with Ten Hag. We expect more this week. And he's clearly doesn't envisage a silver-laden season ahead for United. I think that's the main thing. He hasn't got many seasons left. He knows that no matter how good a condition he's in, he's still playing at a peak level. He's probably got a few more seasons left in him, but at this peak level where he can still score 20 to 30 goals in Europe and be shoulder to shoulder with the very best, he's probably only got, one or two, maybe three left. So he doesn't want to waste any. And I'm not sure he sees what's on offer at United is improving that. Obviously, we did know this before. He's never really played in the Europa League, has he, for all 17 years. He's played Champions League football. If he stays at United, that'll come to an end. Something like that run anyway. You can probably correct me, Ben. But this one, it has echoes of when you left Juventus a little bit, I think. But United are digging in. They don't want to sell. But there are a few teams out there. Chelsea, Bayern Munich, both need a forward at least for a season to replace what they've lost. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea are going to sign 2 or 3, I think. Ronaldo is an option to replace Lukaku. If Bayern do allow Lewandowski to go, he's a perfect fit for a year there. No player has ever won Europe's top 4 leagues. There are players who've won the top 4 leagues in their careers, Beckham being one of them, but no one's won Germany, Italy, Spain and England. Not one player. So that's an interesting prospect, isn't it? That's something to do. So it's not much in football that hasn't been done, but that's one thing that Ronaldo could do by signing for Bayern. So I think it's an interesting one. And don't rule PSG out. PSG's owners, the Qataris, this may not be a Louis Campos signing fitting with what he's doing, but the Qataris would love Cristiano Ronaldo. Can you imagine them billboards in Qatar come December time? Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, and Ronaldo all there for the World Cup, all there for the Qataris. I wouldn't rule him out the equation either. So, in terms of United, obviously they haven't confirmed he's not going to Thailand on Friday, isn't it? But he won't be on that flight. I think we all know that. It's not shock horror. He won't be on the flight. It's a huge blow for United's PR department, massive. But yeah, they're so focused now on keeping him. But yeah, it's looking it's up in the air to say the least. Ronaldo's future.
I've got so many questions for you, but I know that's the background, that's the line of what you said there. But we've had many chats before, Graeme, where you've been really honest about footballers with your own personal opinion and also managers at United. How much of a kick in the teeth is this for not just United, but United fans as well? Given the whole speech of him not going to City, coming home, this whole valiant team effort. We know the drama he made off the pitch last season. You were honest as well in your assessments where you said, I don't think Ronaldo is a great signing for United. I'm sure we had that conversation at the time. And I'm sure you said, I'm not sure he's going to fit what they're looking to do. And now this is happening. So last minute as well.
I like to. I don't think I've ever said anything negative about Ronaldo, Ben. I don't think my son would allow me. He's a Middlesbrough fan, but he loves Ronaldo, and I thought Ronaldo. I don't think United ever ticked the boxes for him. He let his heart rule his head last summer. I don't think he's going to let the same now. The club let him down last summer. The club let the fans down last summer. And we're seeing Paul Pogba will complete his move to Juventus this weekend. He could have stayed in theory if he thought there was silver on offer, but he knows there isn't really. I think it's a worrying thing for United as a club. It's a blow to Ten Hag and what he's trying to do.
Is it blow to Ten Hag?
massively. Because
would he thrive under Ten Hag?
He wouldn't thrive, but he's still going to score 20 goals in the Premier League.
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
and that's not easy. That's easier said than done, Ben. And now you're 3 weeks of the season to go. Who's going to score those goals? Rashford might, but then who's behind him? Nobody. You're at least another striker down, if not more. All the attention was looking to Anthony as the forward because they thought Ronaldo was staying. So they thought Anthony was where all the money was going to go in terms of a forward. Anyway. We've seen the alternatives go. One of his favourites, Hal, has already moved to Dortmund, so we can't go there. There's a few on the market, but they're all very expensive.
I can tell you who it's going to be. I can tell you now who it's going to be. You know who it's going to be. United are going to go all out and do what they can and draw up a ridiculous contract for Dybala. He's the only one. Who else? Who else is there in the market?
Dybala doesn't want to play in England, and he's already agreed terms with Inter. The only thing preventing him signing for Inter is that they need to get players off the wage bill. Vidal and Sanchez are currently in talks to cancel their contracts. Correa and Zeko might leave as well. As soon as a couple of those are gone, Dybala will be signed for Inter Milan. Dybala doesn't want to play in England.
I thought that, but then I was really confused by Damasio put something out yesterday about the fact that is that more negotiation ploys to try and speed up the process?
Inter said that Dybala's agent can talk to clubs. Of course he can. But I don't believe for a second that Dybala will join Man United. I may be proved wrong. They may put an offer out there which is too good to change, but I don't think playing for Manchester United ticks many boxes for Dybala if it doesn't for Ronaldo.
No, I definitely don't think that Dybala coming to United under the circumstances with Ronaldo or even last season's circumstances tick the box for him. I don't know if maybe he's more of a Ten Hag player. I don't know. I can't comment on that. I don't watch enough of him. I know he's good.
If Ten Hag's been going with Sebastian Haller the last 2 years, I don't see how Dybala would be that man.
He's a different type of striker, isn't he?
Who knows? There's a few players out there. It's pardon me. There are a few players in Europe who can play that role. So we'll have to see where they go with Ronaldo first.
But don't you think, Graham, with that, sorry, I know you're losing your, look at that, all this Ronaldo talk, losing your voice. It's all we're talking about. With that, though, do you not think, yes, there's strikers out there that are options that maybe fit a Ten Hag profile, but the issue is here, and I put this out, Ronaldo goes, we're not going into next season with, so to speak, an elite striker, and I categorise an elite striker who you can more or less put your mortgage on, getting you at least 20 goals a season, which will push you on a cup run. It will push you into the top four. That's the issue here. There are no strikers like that in the market or even at United right now.
Oh,
so where are the goals going to come from?
There are the strikers on the market. I wouldn't say that, Ben. You've got Osimhen, Jonathan David, to name but two. Lautaro Martinez is probably available at Inter. There's a good half a dozen out there who they could go and get. I don't doubt that, but yeah, it's just an annoyance because they're planning to have Ronaldo.
Yeah,
they're trying to do other deals, and this is just something that didn't need to happen. And obviously, they wanted Ronaldo to be the figurehead. I think it was just something that Ten Hag accepted. He likes his attitude. Steve McLaren likes Ronaldo. He's part of the staff. I think, and who better for Rashford to learn that central striker role from continually than Ronaldo? So he ticked a lot of boxes. And if they do have to replace him, I think they will. But yeah, it's something that they didn't envisage doing as of a month ago.
You know what? Martinez might actually be a shout from Inter because
there's a lot of players out there, Ben. There's a good half a dozen strikers out there who.
There could be a striker merry-go-round, though, Graham. Do you not think? Lewandowski, if he joins Barca, that may then trigger Ronaldo to Bayern, which then may trigger, as soon as it happens, Dybala to join Inter, which then may see United make a move for someone like a Martinez. But there's always got to be something that sort of pushes it that way. As you said, Inter needs the contracts to sort out for Dybala to go there. Ultimately, clubs need to push things, or something needs to happen for this merry-go-round to start spinning, so to speak. So. But I don't know. I suppose the issue I've got in my head, and this is why I'm saying there's no elite striker or next to no elite strikers out there. You know what you get with Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. You really know what you get with Ronaldo. It doesn't matter what league he's training. You know what you get. Whereas
even Calvert-Lewin, maybe Calvert-Lewin could play in Ten Hag's system, and you might have to go down that avenue and someone who he can improve. But that probably will be the fact that he has to get someone he can improve.
we're back to the start. If we go for someone like a Calvin Lewin or even a David, I'd go as far as to say, I'm not doubting the quality of these players, but you're back to the start where United are going to have to go in and put in an above and beyond offer to get these players out of those clubs, and they're going to have to do it now.
It's the current market when Premier League that does happen, and there'll be strikers being offered to them left, right, and centre Ben as well. So I wouldn't be. Well, no, I'd say I would be down. Yeah, losing Ronaldo was a massive blow to United, and as I've said, I do the Talking Transfers podcast with our mutual friend Scott, and we have a little bet on there with actually our another colleague Toby, who's a West Ham fan, and I've got a bet on there with them that Newcastle will be the highest finishing United, and I'm certainly not changing my mind at the minute.
What, next season Newcastle will finish higher than United?
Quite possibly. If they get Moussa Diaby, if they get their striker in the midfielder,
why do you have to every now and then just ruin my day with a
they've already
like
got
that?
For me, I said this in a few shows, Bruno Guimaraes will probably be the best player in the Premier League next year.
And
they've got Botman, Byrne, Kieran Trippier is as good as any right back. They've got a goalkeeper. If they get Moussa Diaby, Newcastle are building lovely stuff, and I think Newcastle might progress a little bit, and it wouldn't surprise me if West Ham and United both drop a little further. But we'll see. There's a long way in this window to go. There's still six weeks to go in this transfer window. A lot can happen, Ben.
One last thing. By the way, get in the comments. What do you think of Graham's bet then? Newcastle to finish above United. Let's hear from you. You can tweet him as well, Graeme Bailey. Go on, getting his treats, getting his DMs.
You need to stop. You need to change that to all for Man United, because soon they will not be the biggest United in this league.
Oh, Graham.
Hey, as a Middlesbrough fan, it doesn't please me to say that, but I think the way you're heading, you will not be able to call yourselves United for much longer.
Well, look, let's. I can't believe. Why is it right? Anyway, talking about Ronaldo.
All for Man United, the new rebrand.
I know we've already rebranded. I can't do it again. You mentioned Ronaldo. You mentioned a few clubs there. Where are you hedging your bets? Where's this one going at the moment? Obviously, things can change, but where do you think this is heading at the moment?
It's a tough one. It's all going to come down to him. I think he'll have a few options. I think if Lewandowski leaves, I think he's a nice fit for Bayern. But I said I wouldn't rule PSG out, and it's one of the three at the minute. It's one of those three. It's tough to know where just yet. Chelsea, they're doing a lot of surgery and on there. Todd Burley, the new owner, is allowing Tuchel to do this stuff. Raheem Sterling, but they need that central striker to replace Lukaku. So I think that Ronaldo would tick a lot of boxes there for 1 year as well. So one of those three as it stands at the moment. But is it? I'd say, does he leave United or not? I didn't think he would, but from listening to people and what people are telling me, I'd say 60, maybe 60, 40, 70, 30, he leaves.
He's definitely... well, actually, I'll ask you this question. Is him not turning up to training family reasons?
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that, but there's no... I think there is a little chance of him going to Thailand, as we said. I don't think it's probably... there's no point in him going to Thailand as if he's just going to be badgered by the press 24/7 when he's there and do stuff. I don't think either side benefit from that, but... I think that's why it's come out now, Ben, because obviously, clearly, he doesn't want to move to Thailand and he wants to get his future sorted before the league season starts, which is fast approaching.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, things need to happen from all parties, that's for sure. Right, let's move on for Ronaldo. Let's move to an incoming. And look, we've got to hit on this quickly. We always have to hit on it whilst there's nothing going on. Laporta. De Jong is not up for sale. We want to keep him, in so many words. What he actually says was, we would like to keep De Jong. However, some things need to change. We want to keep him. So where are we at with De Jong? Last time we spoke, you was 80% there. Where are we at now?
I'm sure it is. He's just setting up to make Barcelona look like the good guys. We didn't want to get rid of him. He wanted to go. You can see, you can always see the setup. It's like a Hollywood movie setup, isn't it? We know where he's going. Nobody particularly believes him, to be honest. We know what he's saying, and I think he's doing it the wrong way. We know they need the money at some point, even if they're getting these trenches of cash coming in. They need his wages off. Why would he take a wage cut to stay? This is huge. I think this is so huge for United to do now. And I think if Barcelona are clever, they could get a bit more money out of United. They hope not. But no, I'm still confident that he comes to United. I really am. As we know, with many people, we'll take this with a pinch of salt. Technically, he is still a Barcelona player. De Jong, if it didn't come about, would he be happy to stay at Barca? Of course he would. Of course he would. No, he's a clever boy. He knows you only get a chance to play for Barcelona normally once in your career, so it will be a bit sad. Although he's joining United, one of the other biggest clubs in the world, no doubt. But leaving Barcelona will be a sad occasion for him. And so we'll see how it plays. United really, really wanted him on this tour. As it stands, it looks unlikely. But I think Barcelona are just putting the ball back in United's court again, Ben, to get this done and dusted. I think the Ronaldo news only helps Barcelona because it knows the pressure is turned up on United even more.
Yeah, and I think from a United point of view, for me, like the set fee that's like it's been agreed, and it's been agreed for almost 10 days now. It's the rest of the structure of the package, and we still got to get onto personal terms. It just doesn't look like anything's happening
the personal
quickly.
terms aren't a problem. Yeah, the personal terms aren't a problem. They know what it is. The agents have been talking to United. That's not an issue. The personal terms, and there won't be. United knew what that was. United aren't going to balk at that. It's just been the finer details of that, and it is a complicated one. But yeah, the hope is from Man United, they think they'll still get him, and they do need him.
Eriksen, he's going to be a red. By the looks of things, anyway. Hopefully, there are rumours that he will miss potentially the first leg of the tour, or he won't play against Liverpool and head to Thailand. But either way, it looks like it's all but confirmed.
Yeah, he's agreed everything. Just a matter of getting over the line now. That one's done. You don't have to worry too much about that. It's an interesting one. We still don't know what he's planning on playing in the midfield. Obviously, whether Eriksen's part of the starting role, it's hard to envisage that, isn't it? That him starting, especially when Fernandes is likely to be in there as well. But yeah, it's about squad depth. It's about having a quality playmaker as well, as apart from De Jong. It's something you don't have in the squad, and he's a clear upgrade on some of the other players. So it's not a world class sign, but it's a good sign.
Is it a good sign for United fans that the board have gone out there and got Malacia in? They've got Eriksen in, two players that Ten Hag personally wanted, and he's been pushing. Do you think this is signs that maybe certain things might be changing at United?
I think it shows you back in Ten Hag. Obviously, I've never gone with the point of being that many issues with the previous regime in terms of getting players in. You've got plenty of players in, just the wrong ones. And appointing the wrong coaches was the main bugbear. And then we've got to see, have this new regime got the appointing the coach right? We still don't know that. Obviously, they're backing him, which is a good thing from his point of view. So, to getting these deals done. Obviously, the problem is they're missing out on some of these big ones. They missed out on Darwin Núñez, who was one of their top targets, and it hurts that he's going to the nearest rival, Liverpool, and De Jong isn't quite done yet, and Ronaldo wants to leave, so it's come a bit messier than they would have wanted. But are they to blame for that? I wouldn't say so at this point. But yeah, the pressure's on now to get these deals done now.
What about this Andre Martinez? It looks like the Ajax centre back is someone that he wants. It looks like Arsenal are well in there as well, maybe even leading the race for him. What information do you have on that?
Yeah, I think it's a clear sign of Ten Hag being met. We know Pau Torres was very much first in line with the scouting department and the club. There still is an interest there, I believe, but Martinez is clearly ahead of him now in the thinking. You're battling Arsenal with him. The belief is that United should get him. The player is open to both clubs, wants to come to England, but obviously he does have that massive relationship with Ten Hag. So I'd be amazed if Arsenal beat it to him. I really would. And if they did beat it to him, I'd be very, very worried.
I was interested to see that you put on Twitter that potentially with Eriksen and Malacia in that he could be the third, and that could be done relatively quickly. Is the hold up here negotiating a fee to actually get him out of Ajax? Because we've discussed this before. Ajax don't need to sell, do they?
No, it's a fee, and obviously you don't be paying too much. It's battling with Arsenal for him, and I think Ajax are just quite happy for it to play out as a public auction. Really, why wouldn't they?
How much do you reckon it'd take to get him? We're looking around 40 million.
I think it's like £43, wasn't it? What's that, about 45 million euros? The way these euros change, I do lose track sometimes, but around that ballpark figure, I think it'll be what they're getting him for. But obviously, actually using both clubs to try and push that up as far as they can.
Yeah. Interesting dealings going on. Also, another interesting outgoing. It looks like Andreas to Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham have had a bid accepted. They like him a lot. And a player, if he got his own wish, would stay at Flamengo. We know he's worshipped out there. He did great, and that is a way into the Brazil squad. Flamengo, it really is. If you're playing well for Flamengo in top competitions, Gabriel Barbosa, Gabigol got back in the Brazil squad. So, yeah, I think he's not put off signing for Fulham, but I wouldn't rule Flamengo out that just yet. But it's tough for them to live with Fulham and what they're offering. But yeah, he's obviously going to leave United. We just need to see where. Fulham probably current favourites, but don't rule out Flamengo just yet.
Interesting. It is all going on. Just a quick one. We always like to hit on a top four rival. Or potentially even a Premier League rival. Let's not even talk about top four yet. But Tottenham and Conte getting business done and managing to get Bergwijn out for 30 million euros. That's a nice little piece of business there. Looks like also potentially Lenglet in. How are you rating Tottenham's window so far?
Yeah, for us United fans, I keep an eye on Tottenham, especially with their sudden interest in Pau Torres as well. Lenglet isn't done yet. They do like Pau Torres, so keep an eye on that one. Obviously, Richarlison's come in, Bissouma's come in. Tottenham have had a great window for me. Jed Spence from our Middlesbrough is about to sign for them as well this week. Perisic has gone in. Spurs have had a great window so far. They really have. And Richarlison has given them that depth up front. We're talking about your lack of depth up front. Spurs have just added to it because let's not forget Richarlison can play down the middle. I think Richarlison is a great signing for them. It's not just to replace Kulusevski. It means that Harry Kane doesn't have to play every single minute of every single game. We know he can play down the middle in that role. And you got Perisic and Spence putting ball. I think Spurs are, the gap has increased unfortunately for you guys to Tottenham. They're looking very healthy. I love Bissouma. I think he's a great signing. Bentancur played well. Centre half they're looking at. So yeah, great window for Spurs so far for me.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Chelsea now as well, and how Arsenal push on, because Arsenal obviously had a good start to the window, but now it looks like a couple of targets have just slightly gone astray.
Yeah, I think Arsenal's an interesting one. Gabriel Jesus is a central striker. I'm not convinced. I'm really not. I think, don't get me wrong, I think he probably will score you 20 goals, but I don't think he's going to threaten the European Golden Boot anytime. But he might suit the way Arsenal play. They've got a lot of pretty footballers. They're very appealing to the eye going forward with Saka and stuff. Vieira's gone in there. They'll be certainly a good team to watch, and we know what they're about. So I applaud Arsenal for the Jesus signing. Attracting a player of that caliber is a significant signing.
Yeah, 110%. Lots going on. Follow Graeme Bailey for the latest Manchester United transfer news, obviously Premier League and also European football news as well. Plus, Graeme, talking transfers, where can people go and find that?
Yeah, it's live on YouTube now, twice a week during the window, I believe. So that's on the 90-minute football channel and obviously on all good available podcast providers too. It seems it's twice a week. It seems about 4 times a week at the minute. It seems every other day we're doing stuff. But hey, that's the joy of the transfer window, and it's not been a quiet one so far. And I don't think it's dying down anytime soon.
No, and to be fair to you, Graeme, you're completely on the ball as well with the information, and you don't just regurgitate things for the sake of regurgitating it either. So go and check out Graeme. It's always great to have you on, mate. Thank you, and thank you for your patience with me today. It's been a crazy afternoon. Thank you guys for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like. We chat to Graeme every couple of weeks, and we've got some more great guests as well in between, reporters and journalists coming on the Transfer Roundup show as well. Thank you, Graeme, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye for now.